Hello. So for the purpose of this discussion, I'm going to be utilizing the Common Core Standard for TK, RSL TK7, which is with prompting and support describe illustrations and the story in which they appear. Just a little bit about how I set up my classroom. I usually do a combination of whole group and small group instruction. When we are working at our seats, I usually pair students in groups of 4, so they sit in tables. And those groups, I already start thinking about before they're placed there, about their ability levels, language needs, if a child has a disability, and I like to pair them together so that those can become quick cooperative learning groups if we need them throughout the school day, or just based on activities. So just to go off of that, I think two groups that we could utilize to help meet this Common Core standard is either like a quick think, pair, share, where they're discussing the illustration with the person sitting next to them. This one can be just if it's like a quick pause during like a read aloud. If it's something that's going to require a little bit more of like a complex activity where either they're replicating that or like that illustration, or they're doing another project based on that, I'd like to utilize those cooperative learning groups, which I was talking about, which is working with the people or the students at their table, just because, like I said, I already kind of do a little bit background on it when they start placing groups together. They work closely throughout the school day, so they kind of already have like that that built-in rapport. So I think I'd like to utilize it during an activity like this. And if I were to think of a learning theory it goes with, I would say it pairs with social emotional learning theory, just because we're talking about like how students are able to comprehend emotions or develop like that community sense. And again, these groups are just a part of the classroom. I think it really goes into forming that community or that learning environment that social emotional learning theory strives for. So I'd say that that's one of the ones it kind of goes hand in hand with. But again, I think what I like to do is that I don't like to keep these learning groups for too long. So we are on a trimester system. So every trimester, I kind of go back, regroup, see where the students are at, what changes need to be made, what didn't work, and then we start doing new groups so that way they're always changing, and we continue to foster that community environment that social emotional learning kind of strives for. And what I see is that when students have that opportunity to kind of like work amongst themselves, they start to develop a little bit more of like that friendship, ways to express themselves appropriately. We start to see that sometimes either myself or my instructional aides become like facilitators in conversations. Students are still learning how to work in groups. So something for a standard that requires a little bit more of like explaining that illustration. I think this is a good way to help them meet that. Thank you for listening.